Murray, easy life.
Yeah, how
Good to see you, man.
Likewise, man. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having us in your studio, first of
Very
all.
welcome.
It's like genuinely amazing to be here. You've got a solid rig, serious synth collection going on.
This is all just a hobby.
It's more than a hobby. Like...
No, yeah, but like you don't need any of it.
Right, okay,
like,
I'm with you.
Like this is a MIDI controller.
It's like collectors.
I use the MIDI thing a lot.
Right.
The rest is just like my nerdy small penis syndrome, collecting loads of gear. But like, yeah, I built this in lockdown to save me from being bored. But again, it's like fairly unusable for easy life stuff. Although it has made an appearance on a song called Antifreeze.
Yep.
You can hear this at the end. There's like this noise that people have been coming up to and being like, "Is that a bird like chirping?" And I'm like, no, actually, I got my voice and I plugged my voice into this module here, which is like a granular reverb machine.
Yeah.
And I'd like pitched it up like 24, like 2 octaves, and then it's like my voice comes out as like a little bird.
That's amazing. Let's chat first of all about what you've been up to. Festival season, new album on the way. Like, how's 2022 been for you so far?
It's been crazy. It's been wild. I mean, we've done festivals. We've done a bunch of festivals before this year. So like, we're not strangers to festivals, but we've never done like a full festival season, is what we've been calling it. So we've been like, feels very much like a tour. You know?
You
like
put
you're
a shift
out
in.
like every weekend. I think we've done like 20 festivals, and we've also been doing a European festival thing, which we've not done before, which has been an experience, trying to like fly all our gear. Yeah. Which is just insane. We turn up to the airport with like 40 flight cases. Yep. And like check it in, and like every time we like roll up to the like check-in desk and the whoever's on, it's always really early as well. They've just clocked on and they're like, "Oh my God, are you joking?" Like all of them are overweight as well, so you're just racking up the craziest bill, and you're like, "Oh no, no." But yeah, it's been good. It's been fun. And
is this your first sort of tour where you've had a full bus, or have you had that before? Because I saw your bus at Secret Garden Party, and I was like, oh, they're traveling style now.
When budget allows, we splash out on the bus. But usually, like the mad thing is, there's a lot of us in the crew. There's obviously 5 of us in the band. We have like maybe 5 or 6 people in the audio world, and we have like a lighting designer, an engineer. Like our touring party is like 20 people or something, or maybe like 16. So it's actually sometimes makes financial sense to have a bus. I think we were like one of the only people with a bus on the Friday night at Secret Garden Party.
Yeah, you were,
Which was like, made me feel really self-conscious. I think other artists would be like, yeah, baby, but I'm just like, oh my God, stay on the bus. Like, the fact you knew it was ours is really embarrassing.
Well, I was backstage when you got there, and I was like, oh, who's this on this bus? And then I saw you get off, and I was like, oh, it's Murray over there.
Look at him go.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, to justify it, we had truck the next day.
Yeah, no,
so we had to travel through the night.
You don't need to apologise for having a tour bus. You're doing all right. It's okay.
We still get really excited by the tour bus, if that's any like consolation.
No, that's good. Well, last time we spoke about tractors, who are the best buses?
Well, I don't know. Okay. It's an ongoing inquiry. I'll let you know. I'll let you know. There's a few good ones, and it just depends. And I always like to like sit with the bus driver. Yeah. And they'll be talking about like their driving hours and like the engine size and like the fuel tank and all this, and like get really nerdy on it. They obviously love it. So yeah, I'll let you know on the best buses.
Okay, yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
From like a customer point of view as well as a driver.
Yeah, if you can get their sort of, takes on it as well, because they're going to be moving around a few different machines, aren't they? They're going to know a few rigs.
They are. Maybe we could do this as a series.
The easy life. What bus rating system? Like a Rotten Tomatoes of tour buses. Yeah. It's got legs. Or it's got wheels. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh
my days. Oh my days.
This is that bus life. So who is she? Where did she appear from, and where was this?
So as you can see, I'm asleep. So I don't know any of the answers to those questions.
You just have a vague memory of it.
We're like traveling somewhere in America. This is our American, it's like an RV.
Yep.
I'm asleep. Lou It's always Lou, up to mischief. He'd befriended this lady and invited her to do this, to serenade us to sleep, which is obviously hilarious, but at the time I was quite tired.
It's sort of a prank, but it's also quite cute.
Yeah. At the time, obviously I saw this the next day and it made sense to me, but looking at it now, like I'm familiar with the setting as well, so I can sort of picture it, but it's so weird. That's hilarious. You dig out some gems.
So let's talk about the new record.
Yeah.
I haven't heard it. So I've heard OT.
Get Out.
I've obviously heard OTT.
Sure.
And I've heard the track with Kevin Abstract.
Dear Miss Holloway.
Which I love, genuinely.
Thanks,
he slayed it on those bars.
He did.
Were you in the studio? Was it one of those send it over kind of thing?
No, we were in the studio.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was actually at the start of this year, in January, I was in LA and I'd pretty much finished the album by that point and we were hanging out. He was working on a project as well. So we were just like in the studio playing each other our latest creations.
Yep.
And yeah, when Dear Miss Holloway came on, he got really excited and so did I. Because of that. We were like, wow, like this is great. He was like, yeah, it's amazing. I'd already finished a song by that point, not gonna lie. But he was like, yo, can I put 16 on this? I was like, okay. So I just got my second verse. I was like, out with that. Didn't like it anyway, you know. Literally within like half an hour, we'd recorded that verse. Mad. He's rapid. I've actually never seen someone write a verse that quick.
And it really, really delivers as well.
Yeah.
Like so on point and fits in like thematically and everything. It's just
like he's really good. I got mad respect for him.
Yeah. We were talking earlier about Serial Bars. BENEE has also been on Serial Bars as well.
Oh my God.
So when I saw you two working together, I was like, oh, this is like the trifecta now of like Glass Animals, BENEE, Easy Life.
Yeah. That needs to happen.
Yeah.
That needs to happen.
What was it like working with her?
She is hilarious. So you guys have like interviewed her before? Or?
I've interviewed a couple of times, yeah. She's so funny.
She's a funny.
She does a good British accent.
Yeah, she does a lot of good accents. Yeah. She's crazy good singer.
Yeah.
I mean, that sort of goes without saying, but like obviously
her voice is really like special.
We had to do that one remotely because she was living in New Zealand.
Yeah.
So she like recorded that wherever she recorded it, sent it over to me like the dry stem so I could stick it in the project, and I was blown away when I first heard it. Like her voice is crazy.
Yeah.
Like the raw stem is like sensational. I'm very impressed. She's super talented.
You have a good sort of choice, I guess. That everyone that you sort of collaborate with Arlo Parks on the last record as well. It's they're all just great. Like there doesn't feel like any one way you're trying to cash in. It's like this collaboration makes sense, fits into the world, and it seems like you genuinely get along as well.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like people, you know, people have been asking me, obviously, since we've been like, there's been a couple features that we've already put out on this album. People have been like, oh, so what does it take to sort of collaborate with you guys? What are you looking for? And like, truly just like any kind of personal connection to start with is kind of essential, because like the songs, they're all deep, you know? It's not like surface level shit. So it's like, yeah, I need to know them and respect them. And it's easy working with them because they're all hilarious. Like, Kevin's just jokes and BENEE's like literally the funniest person ever. And that tune Antifreeze I was telling you about, we got Gus Dapperton on there.
Oh, sick.
But he's like one of my oldest homies because our first ever tour, actually, if we can call it that, because it was only 3 dates, but at the time we were like, yes, a tour, obviously. It's 3 in a row. Like, was supporting him on his UK tour. So he came over like 5 years ago, literally, like so long ago, and we opened up for him. So since then we've just been real tight, and always been meaning to make music together, but it's one of those, like, it's just busy, but we made it happen. So there's a few collaborations, but yeah, they're all with the homies.
And where are you at with this album in comparison to the last? Because the last time we spoke was I think just before the first record came out. Obviously, it was a weird time because it was in lockdown, it was remote. You'd recently, I think, just moved back to London after like being at home for a while. What's been the sort of evolution since then? There are obviously a lot of kind of deep themes in the last one.
Yeah.
Are they flowing through into this one? What's the sort of story?
I mean, it's called Maybe in Another Life, and I guess it's kind of about what could have been and the effects that your decisions have, and like, you know, the what ifs of your life, like, oh, what happens if I played my hand slightly differently, and would things have been better? Would they have been worse? I mean, you never know, do you? So that's kind of like the crux of the issue. I mean, at times it's real sad. I think Easy Life has always had a way of phrasing things quite positively. And above everything else, I do have quite a positive outlook. Even when I'm feeling sad, I managed to convince myself that, you know, it'll be all right. And I think this album still does that, but it's definitely a lot more introspective, and I'm definitely dealing with the idea of growing up and not everything working out the way you planned it to, you know. I think that's just the reality, innit? I think when you're younger, you have expectations, you know, and like the older I get, I'm just like, don't have any of those, because like shit's not working out like the way it's meant to. Don't get me wrong, I'm gassed, but there's a lot of things in my personal life that I need to like sort out, and like I've realized that will always be the case. You know, like it's a journey. Definitely.
Totally. Are you someone who, you know, reflect, but maybe over-reflect and look back and think like, shit, maybe if I'd just done this differently, and like, is regret something you carry with you? Yeah,
and not only regret, but just anxiety. Like, honestly, I don't know what it is, but I was speaking to my brother about this actually, because he basically is the same. Like, the older I get, like the more anxious I'm getting. And I was thinking like, no, surely it works the other way around, because as a like teenager, you're just terrified and like you don't know where you belong, and there's all those horrible feelings that you have for loads of like your early 20s and stuff. I'm like mid-20s now, and I'm like, why is it getting worse? Like, I feel like I have a better understanding of the world and like my place within it, but my anxiety is getting like, honestly, it's terrible. Like, I think I carry that around a lot, and I've channeled a lot of that into the music, and the music is one place where like I feel I'm not really deep in my decisions that much. I just very instinctual. I'm just following it, and if it sounds good or like it provokes like a feeling of any kind, then I just keep doing it. Other than when I'm making music, I'm pretty on edge, and it's not a good thing. Like I say it with a smile, but like it's kind of long sometimes, you know, because I'm like, there'll be situations that I just won't put myself in because I'm like second guessing the way I might feel. You know, sorry to deep this interview, but
no, we do. We
do you know what
like
I mean?
having these types of conversations.
That's I'm channeling a lot of that into the album, because like, you know, 9 times out of 10, even like little things now, my mates will be like, "Yo, you coming to the pub?" I'm like, probably not. Like, I'll make some like generic excuse, and they get it because they know me. But like, it's sad because actually, maybe I would like to go to the pub. I don't know. I also maybe not, but maybe I would. But I didn't go because I was second guessing the way I might feel. And like, that feeling, you know, I guess I regret the things I didn't do more than the things I did. And I guess there's a lot of that on the album.
I can relate to that. I can relate to that a lot.
It's hard.
It is.
It's hard,
and it's
man.
that thing, the thing with expectation as well. That's something that through my, like, definitely in my life, I've constantly come back to just that word and what it means. Because I think I've always put so much expectation on myself, had expectation from other people on me. And that is definitely the source of most of my anxiety, is just a feeling of like guilt or shame of not meeting someone's expectations or not doing the thing that's sort of expected. Have you ever done therapy or any?
I've tried a few different methods. I'm trying some, like, I'm big into my yoga at the minute.
Nice.
Which is like incredible. And like, I was always skeptical. I'm skeptical of a lot of things, but it's always like, I sort of palmed it off as like, you know, oh, yoga, that's for like real like South London hipsters like myself. So I'm like, I can't fit the cliche. Like, I can't do that. But you know what? Putting it out there, man, it's pretty good. Just like, it's like meditation, you know, it's the same thing. That's working real good. It's working wonders just to be able to like control the breath and like sort of connect with the body.
Well, that's the thing with anxiety, isn't it? You can control it with the breath. It's like, it's a respiratory thing. Because it's about your heart going at a certain rate and all that kind of thing.
And it's such a physical sensation, because a lot of people are just like, oh, chill out, everything's fine. It's like, that's not the point. Like, I know it's fine. That's the worst part about it. There's nothing to be stressed about. And like, all this stuff's happening. And I think stuff like yoga and meditation can just like put you in control of those like sort of nerve centers and those like feelings, and I treat them more like just bodily things now rather than like, oh my God, I'm freaking out and like I need to hide away. So yeah, I'm trying some stuff.
You just got to find the stuff that works.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think your 20s is exactly, that's what that's for as well.
Yeah.
Someone said to me once that your 20s are for working out what you don't want to do, your 30s are for working out what you do want to do, and your 40s are for getting really good at it, and the rest is just kind of enjoy it.
Nice.
Which is a nice way to.
That's lovely.
I'm in my 30s now, and
I like to write that down.
I do find that your 20s is really just for kind of working out the shit that you don't want to do. It's like, well, I'm not that guy. I don't want to be that.
Yeah.
And then your 30s, you can start being like, okay, well, that's what I'm not doing. So I can move now and kind of like focus on this, or maybe I'll try this bit and get good at it. You can still make mistakes and everything, but like it's just that's when you sort of have a much better sense, I think, of who you are and what's important to you.
Yeah,
anyway.
that's good to know.
Yeah,
that's good to know.
Yeah.
Don't feel
hang in there.
Yeah.
Anyway, man, it was nice to get deep.
Yeah, sorry, man.
No,
I feel
don't
like
be
that
sorry.
shit comes out in interviews because, like, you know, people ask me about the album or what it's about and the journey, and like I use the music as like a, you know, an outlet for just how I'm feeling, and sometimes I'm feeling pretty anxious, so may as well talk about that shit, you know?
I want to talk about your live shows, actually, because I've got some clips from some of your live shows that I want us to have a look at, because you fucking stepped it up, man.
Oh, bro. Dude, talking
conscious?
about anxiety, dude, I hate watching clips of me doing this. I'm like, oh no. Oh no. Because the person on that stage is not the person sat here now.
No, I know, but
the person
like,
on that stage is very drunk.
But this is, well, let's talk about
very
this.
drunk.
So, okay, so there's some inebriation going on.
Lots,
but also, like, was it a
lots.
conscious decision? Like I said, the first time I saw you was at Secret Garden Party, but I've seen like footage of some of your older shows and things like that. Like, just watching the footage of you live now feels like an evolution has happened, that something's changed.
I appreciate that.
Was that a conscious decision? I mean, also even just the way that you're presenting yourselves, you know, you've got like uniforms now, like everyone's doing their thing.
Yeah.
So the live shows are just scaling up to another level. You seem to be like really throwing yourself into it. Everyone's got like their kind of outfits, and it just feels like a much more realized performance. Like,
thank you, man.
No, it's genuinely
that's
I think
lovely
it's
to hear.
I think it's undeniable that that's
Bless you.
that's
Thank you.
happened. But like, yeah, was it a conscious decision?
You know, the live show is something that we will always work on, and it's like our pride and joy. I think that's why we started Easy Life, really. And we gig a lot. You know, there's a lot of artists that their thing is the studio or whatever it is. For us, it's very much the live show. That's where we feel happiest. So yeah, I'm gassed that you noticed us.
Yeah, well,
like,
you're
doing
like
well, you know?
throwing yourself off stage, and there's one that I wanted to specifically talk about that you're about to like dive off a balcony into a crowd of people, and the security clearly doesn't want you to go, and they're like clinging on, and you're like, no mate, no, it's okay, and he's like not letting you go, and you still manage to get down there. But where was that? And like,
oh, that's hilarious. That was in
it's such a good clip.
It was in, I think it's Birmingham.
Okay.
That was like one of the first gigs on the tour. It's one of these things, like, you know, when you're on tour, I think it was Richie, our monitor guy.
Yep.
We were sound checking, and he was like, oh, I once saw a dude jump off that balcony. And he didn't know what he was doing, but to me that was like...
Seed planted.
Oh, really? Like, you do not have to do that now, otherwise your mate, who I don't even know, is one-up me.
Yeah.
And, you know, this is our show, bro. So I was like, fuck. So, you know, I was like, right, it's going to happen. And I assumed it's not that high. I know the video you mean, and it looks high.
Yeah.
It looks high. It's not. It's really not.
Yeah.
It was a safe distance. Anyway, I got up there, and yeah, the guy was like, you can't go. And I'm like, no, bro, it's fine. Like, look, they're going to catch me. And like, we both know it's not that high. Like, why are you acting like it's some skyscraper?
Yeah.
And yeah, he's holding me, he ripped my jumper. That was a brand new jumper.
Sue him.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. He ripped my jumper, man. And it like grabbed me by the, like, everything. And I was like wriggling, and I sort of like wriggled free, and then he kind of just plonked me like way more dangerously than if I had placed myself. But shout out to him. He's doing his thing. And to be honest, it added to the theatre of it all.
It really did.
If I'd have just got on there and jumped off, we wouldn't be talking about it. So
no.
Shout out that guy for doing his job.
Your Glastonbury performance was incredible, by the way.
Had the best
that
time.
must have
Thank you.
felt amazing.
Yeah, it was legendary. We played the Pyramid.
I wasn't there. I know a load of people that went, and so many people that came back were like, Easy Life were fucking amazing.
Up,
like, it was their first time seeing you live, and they were just like, it was like
we had a great
one of the most
time.
memorable performances of the weekend.
Thank you. That's so sweet. That means a lot. Yeah, it was just so special for us to be there.
Yeah.
But like I got gassed and I jumped into the crowd without any warning. And Glastonbury, you get a mixed bag, don't you? It's not all just like mental kids.
It might be at the front for the person after you, or they might still be at the front for the person before.
Exactly. So like I just jumped onto a load of people who had no idea it was coming and they just got dropped. But I've been dropped a lot. Getting dropped is sometimes more enjoyable.
Really?
Well, it's less predictable. You're like, fucking hell, look at this. Off we go. And like, it's fun.
I like the ones where you get the people that are the sort of like hardcore ones that are like not giving up hope. They're still like, you're like that close to the ground and they're like, no, 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 come on. I've done that when I've crowd surfed before and you're like, oh no. It's like, you can let me, we're done, we're done.
I know the ones you mean. They're the best. They're salt of the earth people, man.
Come on, come on.
Yeah.